Today I'm going to be doing a different kind of video to what I've done before. So I usually focus more towards on my dog's makeup or fashion. I thought I would do this video just in case anyone else is going through a similar thing and decides that they want to do it. So as you can tell from the title, I've actually had a type of plastic surgery. This plastic surgery isn't like one where people, like, it's super obvious to anyone or anything, because it is more like a personal thing that I've suffered through since I was a child. So actually a lot of my friends don't know about it. It's not that I'm secretive about it, it's just that it's not something that pops up into my head that I've had done anymore. It's kind of just like an everyday normal thing for me now, so it's not like an insane, oh my god, you've had plastic surgery. It's more like, oh wow, I didn't even know you got that done. Like, you can't even tell. So what I actually got done was my ears. I have had a plastic surgery on my ears. I can't remember what it is actually called. It is a really bad name. I know that much, that it just doesn't make you feel very confident. Let me Google and see. It definitely was an otoplasty, which is what is coming up for when I Google it. So technically it's otoplasty, but that's not what they called it when I was having it done. So what happens is my ears used to stick out. So I used to have very like sticky outy ears. When I was younger, people always used to like say I look like an elf and things like that, because my ears would always stick through my hair. I was like super self-conscious about it, because like I knew that my ears were big, and I knew that like people noticed that my ears were big, and like definitely to yourself you think people notice more than they do, but when people actually make comments on it, that is when it really does like sink and like hit and sink in that like, yes, this is not normal. So in my family it is quite normal to have biggish ears that in a way stick out, although to me, my family, like no one else has had this surgery, but everyone else looks normal to me. Like, they don't look like they have massive ears. My brother used to always have bigger ears, but as he got older, he's like grown into them. I've never really grown into my ears, and they would always just stick out. So in a way, he got lucky with that. So I'll give you a bit of a backstory. I first noticed my ears when I was quite young. I was in year 4. So I'm not going to say what the event was, but for this special event, my mum wanted me to have my hair up in a bun. And I was like, I really don't want to. Like, I want to wear my hair down. Like, I don't want to show my ears. Like, I was already self-conscious of it without anyone else making any comments or anything. And this was only in year 4. So this was 2004. So as I did, because I was a little girl, I was like, okay mum, like I'll wear my hair up because you want me to, like blah blah blah. So then the event comes, I'm wearing my hair in a bun, I'm not feeling like super amazing, but my mum got me these really pretty love heart earrings that were like dangly, and I was like, okay, yeah, done, I'll wear my hair up, look pretty with my earrings on, had photos taken, all that. At this event, I was walking past this man that used to be, let's say, a family friend, and I walked past him, and remembering this, I was, what year was I? 2004, 6, 1994, how old was I? So I was 10 years old. Remembering this as like a little child who is already a bit self-conscious about her ears, I walked past this grown man who would have been in his 40s, and he said to one of his friends, he was like, see, I told you this family has huge ears, look how ugly she is. My heart and everything sank in me. I was already really feeling shitty about myself, and then this man just topped it off like next level. So as you do when you're a 9-10-year-old, I was crying, I went into the bathroom, I took my hair down, I was like, I'm not wearing my hair up ever again. I actually don't think I told my mom till after the event, because I was just didn't want it to ruin her night, but I definitely told her afterwards, because then at a later event he was invited to, maybe like a month or 2 later, The same man was invited. My mum was very hesitant about inviting him because of what he had said. And let's say he made a similar comment to me and my brother, and then my mum kicked him out. So after that, that man has had no part in our life whatsoever. He is completely gone. He was the douchiest of douchey men ever. A lot of personal issues himself that we're just never going to get into, but it was just one of those things. Like, how can a grown man, someone who is in their 40s, say to a young girl and destroy her self-confidence about something that she can't change, something that she has no control over? Like, why would you make comments about someone's ears? Like, you're a child, don't be mean. It sticks with you forever too. When you're a child and you're growing up and you're already going through all those awkward stages where like people are prettier or nicer or people are mean, or like there's just all these things you're trying to work out who you are, and you get a comment like that. So that is the start of when I started getting my self-confidence issues with my ears and everything like that. So from then on, I never wore my hair up ever. In pretty much all my school photos and everything, you will see, like after this year event sort of thing, my hair was either down, I either had low ponytails, I had like one ponytail to the side. It was always, my ears were always covered. I still had huge issues with my ears poking out through my hair, so I used to try and tease it a bit, but it still wouldn't work because at that time, at that age, my hair was very lifeless and just pretty much straight and silky. I never had huge bullying issues from it, but it was mainly kids just making comments being like, oh, you look like an elf, or why are your ears so big? Or I had issues with like my mouth and stuff, like people like, why did your top lip disappear? So it's not like I've ever been super bullied or anything, but it's to the point where you just don't want people to notice anymore. Like, you don't want people to know you've got big ears. Like, it's embarrassing. And then if you had to wear a cap at school or something, your hair would always, it would always push it right down where your ears are sitting. So your ears would always stick out. Like, there was nothing I could do. So my mum was always super supportive of me, telling me that no matter what I do, she will always support me. And she said if I want to have surgery, I can have surgery. It's my choice. She doesn't want me to have surgery because she feels like, as you are like a mum, she thinks like I'm beautiful as the way I am, I don't need to change. So I ended up starting my special effects makeup school in Sydney, which was good. I loved it, every bit of it. But my mum could see that I was super self-conscious of my ears because we had to have our hair back every day. Like, you couldn't have your fringe in your face or anything because you were constantly touching other people's faces. You don't want to have your hair falling in your face. So every day I had to wear my hair back in a high ponytail just to keep it all out. I will try and find some photos. I'm not actually sure I have them or know where they are, but I will definitely try and find them to show you of what my ears were like. But I got my ears, I had surgery on my ears in August 2012, and this lovely lady in Sydney was actually the ear surgeon. She also removed a lump in my chest, so if you ever see if I wear bathers or anything or a low top and there's a scar, that is where it is from. Nothing serious, but you sometimes just need to get rid of them because there's issues that are complicated around it. But anyway, different story. So she was the lady who fixed my ears. I'm not going to bag her out because I feel like this could happen to anybody, and I don't feel like she did a bad job. I just feel like it's not that it wasn't done properly, but it just, for me, it didn't work for my body. So the first time I had it done, so what they do is they cut the back of your ear and then they pretty much, this is just a really simple explanation. I'm not a ear specialist or anything, just putting it out there. So they cut the back of your ear and then they do, what are they called? The little stitches in the back to hold your ear to place, and then sew it all together, and then I had to keep this bandage wrapped around my head for a week. and the pain, there was honestly like not much pain at all. So that's pretty much all it was. I was inside for a week. I couldn't go anywhere, couldn't do anything because I had this massive bandage just wrapped around my head. I don't know if I have any from in 2012, but I definitely have photos from when they fixed it last year. So that was all good. I thought everything was fine. Like, it really didn't hurt much, except for like for like 2.5 years, the back of my ears were still always like bleeding and infected. And I didn't, me just being dumb and young, I didn't think much of it. And then I ended up going, because at this point, after this surgery, a couple months later, I moved to Canberra. And so I was living in Canberra. I visited my mum and I was like, I think I need to see the surgeon lady again because like my ear's throbbing. And it turns out one of the stitches that she had put in had come through the back of my skin, so my skin wasn't ever healing, which is what was causing me all these like issues and infections and blah blah blah. And my body doesn't fight infections very well at all anyway, so it's not like it was like a super weird thing for me. So we went in, she did the anaesthetic while I was in the chair, like not a general anaesthetic, but like an anaesthetic so it numbs the back of my head, so I could feel her doing whatever she was doing. It was horrible, but at least it didn't hurt. I needed to see another ear surgeon that was in Canberra because I needed him to fix, I needed to get grommets because my eardrums always burst, so if I get a cold or sinuses or anything, my eardrums will just go and then they'll perforate and it's not a fun time, so I had to get grommets. So this was a couple years ago, so I went and saw him and he has been really great. And then 6 months later with the grommets and everything, they were really good. They were still in my ears, not really doing what they were supposed to anymore. Then the surgeon and stuff decided, because I have a deviated septum, that I would have the nose surgery where they break all in there and clean it out and make the nose more straight inside. Like, it didn't change the outside of my nose at all. And at the same time I asked him, because I was still getting infections behind my ear, I was like, do you mind just fixing my ears? And he was like, look, I'm going to need to fix both of them because they're both just not going to ever, you can feel the stitches through going, like feeling behind them, and you're not supposed to. And I didn't know that you weren't supposed to feel that. So I'm not saying that the first lady wasn't great, because it still changed my self-confidence to like this. Like, I went from here to here like within a week. So it was amazing. It was the best thing I ever did. But she just didn't do it correctly for my body, or like deep enough in my head, if that makes sense. I'm not good with stories. So yeah, he fixed my ears last year, and since then I have had zero issues externally. Internally I have, because I just had ear surgery on Tuesday and it's Friday now, so yay. Externally my ears are amazing. I will never need to get them fixed ever again. You cannot feel any sign of stitches or anything. Like, it is all gone. I will insert pictures as well so you guys can see. They're not the prettiest pictures of me, but you know, you do what you do. So that is something that I have been dealing with for years, and finally I can say this year is the first year that I've had no issues externally with my ears since probably 2004. I don't know, I would definitely do your research to make sure that you get someone who gets it done right on the first go, because you don't want to go through what I did and go through multiple things and procedures and surgeries of them trying to fix your ears. Like, I feel like the more you go through, the worse it's going to be, and it's so expensive to be sick, so you don't want to do that at all. I just want to put this out there. I'm not promoting changing your body or like procedures or cosmetic procedures or anything like that. I am all for you being you and you doing what you feel is right for you, not for anyone else. So ignoring what anyone else says. I used to have friends be like, you don't need to have that surgery, like you really don't need to do it, and I did it for me. So, and now I am so much more confident. Not saying that that will happen for everybody with everything, but I feel like if you do you and you do what you feel is right for you, and you have a long thought processes of it all, you don't just be like, okay, I have to do this, I have to get a boob job now. Like, take some time to actually properly think about it, and then if you still want to do it, let's say in like 6 months or 12 months time, then definitely do it if you want to. Not because I said to. I hope this gives a little bit of an insight and helps someone who maybe has gone through something similar and can see that you still can come out on the other side of it. It is hard to, but it was definitely worth doing for me, and I won't change it ever. In saying that, I have never had any other plastic surgery done. I have had lip fillers done, but that is about it. I can't say that I won't, but I can't say that I will, because it's not something that, there's not like, I still want to be me, and I can't say that my ears will ever change who I am, because you don't see them all the time, and it's not like your body will change who you are, but just still be you, whatever you do in the end. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. Sorry if it's a bit of a ramble. I'm really not good at story times or anything like that, but I thought I would just give you guys my experience on my plastic surgery, because it did go a bit ups and downy, but in the end it turned out great. So yeah, anyways, I will see you guys later. Bye.